Ready? Okay, it is 6 o'clock. We'll start the August 25th meeting of the EDC Corporation. Roll call, everybody is present. Reports and announcements, we will skip item 1 for right now and go to item 2, finance report from the Economic Development Corporation.
Good evening. I'll be brief. There were a couple changes from the presentation last week due to some information coming online between those publishing deadlines. Our sales tax revenue at $749,000. It's 71.7% of budget. This time last year, we're at 65%, so we're pacing ahead on that. Looking at our rental fees, 83%. We're 83% through the year, so that's pacing exactly as we expected. Of note, the deposit has been exactly the same as in previous months, so it does look like Etron, at least to this point, is still paying out their rent on their contract. Our operations ahead of budget due to a purchase. Town shopping center expenditures, 66.3%. The largest reason I could find for us being, I'll say, ahead of pace, since this is an expense by 25 or so percent, we haven't received our final invoices yet for the former Dollar General site remodel. I expect once we receive those, our pace will pick up considerably on that because that's a huge portion of that segment of our budget. Fund balance year to date, we are just under $1.4 million or 228 days of budgeted expenditures and transfers out without any revenue. Are there any questions?
No questions on this part, but at the September meeting, could we bring some of the material you put together for the budget we just looked at for the council and just share the EDC forecasted budget for 27 with this group, just so everyone there can kind of better understand of what we're projecting to see next year for the 27 year. It'll just help us kind of make, as we're making decisions, we will, I think as a body, we should know what we're projected to be at the end of the 27 budget, because it's lower than it is right now.
Yes, sir. If you feel that'll be helpful, I'm happy to have a brief conversation, maybe a Q&A involving the budget.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions for John? All right, thank you.
Just want to point out, as far as Councilman Glover spoke, if there are any questions about the budget, feel free to send them to me. I'm happy to answer those in between now and the September meeting. Thank you.
Quickly, John, I'm sorry to bring you back.
It's all right.
But looking at the detail, could you break down what goes under advertising?
Advertising, there's really two main things. As far as the EDC goes, it would be any type of advertising for the hometown Christmas event. So I believe we send out 2 postcards to every address in Kennedale. And Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we went into 76017 zip code also last year. So the 060 and 017, which is the Southwest Arlington zip code, and any type of notices that we have to put in the paper. Those are the 2 main components for advertising.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, item 3, town center development update.
That's you, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, if you're ready. Messed him up.
Afternoon, everybody. Well, we, hopefully now that the YMCA finally approved the lease, and they're getting ready to put up their sign and hopefully come in with 500 memberships, which I think that is long overdue and a very big event for Town Center. It's going to help everybody. We've also had a meeting this afternoon, in fact, with Nearly Famous Burgers and Wings. to do. We're getting very close to finalizing a deal. We got a deal in principle, but finalizing the building construction for a fast food drive-through just next door to Subway. So we're committed to do that. We're moving forward. We've already spent several $100,000 and moving forward with that. So that should hopefully start construction before the end of the year. And then following that, early in next year, we're going to start the building 3 on a spec basis and build that 12,161 square foot building. We also are working with Carmen's Tex-Mex, which I think might, be something of consideration for today. We've had, Dickies and we had 3 or 4 different versions of Dickies franchise that came in, Don Pancho that never made it. And I think one of the reasons why is they didn't have any kind of beer, Mexican food or barbecue. You need beer and a margarita. So we've had in-depth conversations with Carmen's Tex-Mex to come in there. And one of the things they need, he came and said, look, it's not going to work unless I can sell a beer and a margarita with Mexican food. No one's going to come in here, the Dickies and Don Panchos. It's just not going to work without, a beer with Mexican food, margarita. So we're really working hard with them. I had contractors in there today to get me a price to put in the bar. So we'd like you all to consider, supporting that effort. We've, that's been an Achilles heel for us over the last several years, as you all know, and I think this guy's for real. I know city manager, Mr. City Manager is supportive of that. So I think that would be very beneficial for the city to consider, or EDC to consider supporting that effort. What else? We renewed Chicken Express. They just completed a 10-year lease. We renewed them for another 5 years. That was big. They were nervous, about renewing. He's got several Chicken Express franchises, and this is his least profitable. We share with him that, the YMCA is coming in with, their membership. So, that sort of augmented his ability. We cut his rent confidentially, dramatically to keep him. But, he wasn't, gung ho about renewing for another 5 years, just vis-a-vis what he's doing he's got 3 other franchises, and this is least profitable. At least that's what he's saying. But, I think we're finally getting some momentum with, the YMCA. I think that's going to help everybody. And, we're going to invest another $7 million. We believe in Kennedale, and, we're sticking with it.
I know last meeting we talked about you were going to have a meeting with the Pavlik Group. Can you possibly share how that went?
We tried to meet a couple of times. She came in, late, and so I never really had a chance to sit down with her. We'll still try to connect.
Mr. Hughes, on the Nearly Famous Burgers building, you mentioned you spent, did you say several $100,000 on the design of that already?
Well, we spent We spent probably 75,000 actually, but we're about to commit to another, well, ultimately it's gonna be 1.5 million.
Okay. And will you need anything from us as a body for that building?
You know, it was always helpful if they, you know, the EDC grant, you know, to help him buy his equipment to get him profitable.
In the past, we've had to do agreement for the land. I think that's what Mr. Glover is referring to.
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, just like we did with Dollar General and all the other buildings, we'll need, you know, obviously the support of the EDC with our agreement to place the land like we've done in the past.
Will we see that soon? The agreement?
We're forming we're forming our new entity for that building, and we'll be approaching with you and the city attorney very soon, hopefully in the next 30 days.
Okay.
Just like we did with the Dollar General.
No more questions. Thanks, sir.
So the large building that you're saying Q1 or Q2 of next year, you're going to commence construction. Is that only going to move forward if the Burger and Wings place does move in? Or is it going to happen either way, Q1 or Q2 of next year?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're committed with Burgers and Wings. We've already got LOI that we're honoring. We're moving forward with that. I mean, it's a bit of a risk. I mean, he's a guy moving out of a food truck into a, you know, brick and mortar. So it's a big risk for us. We believe in him. He seems gung ho. Going to take a chance, but no matter what, first Q, if not sooner, we're going to start building 3. We're in consultation with MJ's Barbecue. That's a stretch for him. We may move forward with him, but I think we're going to move forward with or without him. It's hard to lease a building that that's not at least under construction. If you build it, you know, they'll come. It's kind of our philosophy. We've been advertising that. We got a lot of interest, but most of these companies, you know, need something in 3 months or 2 months or 5 months. And it's going to take us 8 or 10 months to build it. So I'm convinced the only way we're going to get it leased and underway is if we build it and, you know, stick it out until somebody, you know, leases it up.
Will you be building this building with like patio area, something that entices them, or, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure
So
plans are built.
the building is planned right now is 12,161 square feet under roof. And we've got a very prominent east end, which kind of faces the interest off of Kennedale Parkway. And we've got a 1,200 square foot patio. So that's the very needed sit down restaurant. We watch a game, have a cocktail that we desperately needed. And we're just committed to just move forward. It's a big risk, but it's not going to happen without us, you know, committing to build it. We're bullish. I mean, you know, this YMCA thing, you know, that was a big pain to get that deal done, but I think that's going to really help bring the traffic that we need. I mean, Kennedale, you know, I mean, it's probably already shut down. There's probably very few cars in the parking lot as we speak right now. That would help, you know, keep the traffic up to 8 or 9 o'clock in the evenings. That's going to help all of our patrons and all of our tenants with just that extra foot traffic.
I guess speaking of evening traffic, did the YMCA indicate when they would, what their hours of operation would be? Because that will significantly change the amount of people around here after hours.
That I'm aware of, they're looking at opening at 6 a.m. It's been mentioned at 5, but I think it's gonna be at 6, with the idea they stay open to 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
I don't think the time has actually been narrowed down, but it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
That's what they've told us.
Well, good. That should help
Yeah.
a lot of folks.
Another couple hours of foot traffic always helps everybody.
Was that, Daryl, was that rent, as we discussed last month, or was it adjusted again?
No, it's stayed the same.
Stayed the same?
Yes, sir.
As you also know, E-tron, their lease is up 11/30, November 30th. They're still paying rent. They pretty much vacated, but I think we could double the rent that they're paying on a release if we invest a little bit of money to clean that space up. I'm advertising that double what they're paying today.
Does the YMCA have any interest in that?
They do, I think. I mean, they're not for profit, so they can't afford to pay a lot. So I think they do have an interest, but it's going to be a cheap, economical deal.
It'll cost us almost as much as it does.
No, that's not going to happen. That will not happen.
Because it ain't safe.
Maybe there's a developer that could split it with us. Mhm.
There is. Yeah, that's an opportunity right there. E-tron space. Excuse me.
Daryl, do we know what's going in there, like with this YMCA? Do we know if it's just going to be like meeting spots? They're going to put like athletic equipment, workout equipment?
It's mainly a gym
Okay.
for the most part. When you walk in, that's ultimately what you're going to see. In the back, there is a community room or a instructional room, and I would say it's probably 20 by 40,
Yep.
give or take a little bit, in the back.
They're gonna do computer, young kid computer related stuff. They're gonna have martial arts. They're gonna have, quite a bit of activities.
Yeah, they have musical lessons. That pretty much
Dance.
a full, what they do in Mansfield or Arlington, for the most part, the activities they should have. Not all activities will come here, but majority of the activities should make it here as well.
Have you guys seen it? It's great. That Dollar General that was downtrodden looks 100% different. I don't prescribe that we do that next door. We can make it look nice, but we're not going to knock it out like that.
Could you clarify the spec building that you're discussing for next year? That would be building number 4, correct?
So it's technically building 3, but it'll be the 6th building. Assuming we did, well, not assuming, we're going to build, so building 1 is the antique mall building.
Mhm.
Dollar General is building 2. The spec building is building 3. The famous, nearly famous burgers next to Subway, that little pad site's 4. Subway's 5. The pizza 6, and Chicken Express is 7.
Could you elaborate quickly on design number 3?
So it's going to be a 12,000. Well, it's originally what we've got permitted that's ready to pick up with the city today is 12,161 square feet. The east end cap that faces the entrance is we've designed about a 3670 square foot inside restaurant with a 1,200 square foot patio. It's going to have an elevated, very prominent, two-story, false, you know, presence. And then we'll have about 7,500 feet of inline retail for, you know, a pediatrician or a, you know, State Farm or what have you. Crumble cookie, you know, inline retail. I think we're probably saturated with restaurants. So other than that, sit-down restaurant, you know, with the patio, we're probably gonna defer with restaurants in the rest of the building. We get
That
good
answers my question.
activity.
Thank you.
We get good activity, but we don't get traction because it's not under construction. We, you know, we get in, you know, tire kickers weekly. But you're never gonna lease it until, you know, these little small guys, until they see it, you know, under construction. Most of them, they have 2 year, you know, 2 months, 3 months left on their lease, and they don't have 8 months to wait or 10 months to wait to get a building built. So my partner, Mark Wong, and I just decided we're just gonna get the Nearly Famous going, and we're just gonna start it. So we're committed. We've already got our bank loan approved. We're ready to go.
Any more questions for Craig? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you all, gentlemen. Tina, thank you.
Item 4, never forget 9/11 25th anniversary event.
Yes, if you look in front of you, you'll see the coins that we ordered. Only ones that doesn't have it is council members. I already handed some of those out to them, so. So you'll see those. If you need some more, I'd love for you to hand them out. Obviously, mark it, our 9/11 memorial and our event itself. If you need some more, please come in and let me know. We'll get some delivered to you. Just a reminder, it is September 11th. Actually, the event itself starts at 8 a.m. That's the sundial concept will start. We'll also be able to be here to help walk through that process. At 9 a.m., we'll have our keynote speakers. Our actual dedication to it will be at 9. Mayor Warden. Brian Johnson will be a keynote speaker, along with our Commissioner of Precinct 2, Elisa Simmons, will be a keynote speaker as well. So I truly invite you and hope you'll be able to attend and bring a friend, your family, and everyone else here. We have the school district choir will be here as well to help us have a great memorial and sing the national anthem and Star Spangled Banner. So please come out, enjoy it, and look to see you there.
All right. Item B, consent agenda, EDC minutes. Has anybody seen any changes or notes or we have it ready to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve the July 2026 minutes.
I will second it.
All in favor, consent agenda, minutes? Unanimous. All right, that gets us to item C, individual consideration discussion, EDC property purchase policy. All yours, sir.
Thanks, sir. So after our last discussion, we made a few edits, and just to try to help make the conversation go a little bit smoother, I've also included a flow chart so that we can all follow along on when the decision would need to be made for an appraisal and or an environmental study. So last time we met, we pivoted a little bit and said, if it's has been used for commercial or industrial purposes, if the purchase price is over $500,000, then a phase one study and an appraisal are required. And if it's less than 500,000, then it's optional. We can vote on it if we want to. And then moving down, if phase one identified problems, then we can either proceed with the purchase if otherwise approved, or conduct a phase two soil sample and then see what the results of that look like. Any other feedback? Mr. City Manager, did the city attorney have any feedback on this, or are we waiting for them to respond?
No, at this point, he had no other questions. He had no issues with the language.
I guess the one question would be, in the flow chart, when you get to phase one does indeed identify an issue. We can stop the process there, or I'm assuming we don't
Yeah.
have to do the,
Yeah, phase two doesn't become mandatory. It's just, if it finds something and we want to proceed, we need to do a phase two.
Yeah.
Phase one should tell us a good working knowledge of what's there.
Personally, my comment here is based off the work of Mr. Glover. This draft, this draft provides added visibility combined with added protection to our investments and to our citizens, and I would approve it myself in the current language. And so that would require myself to make a motion at this point, correct?
Unless there's no other or comments or edits anybody wants to make. We're getting better at these as it is, because this is our third draft. We did it through 4 with the other program we did this on last year. So we're getting more efficient. The grant process. That's right.
And overall, keep in mind, this is not prevent any purchases, but it does allow the added visibility, the added protection, and transparency at the end. And so this is going to be, go back to the front. I will make a motion at this time to approve C-1, that is the EDC property purchase policy that we have drafted.
I'll second.
Any discussions? All in favor? That's all. Yes. David, thank you. You're keeping us all straight. That's the second time you've got us straightened out. Okay, Do you need executive session, sir? Yeah. All right, I'm going to need a motion to move into executive session.
I'll make a motion to move to executive session.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, sir, pursuant to 551.072, deliberation regarding a purchase, exchange, lease value, or real property, we will now move into executive session at 6:31. And it's 7:23. We'll come back from the executive session. We have no matters to discuss after executive session. You have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, and everybody in favor?
I'll second.
You should just adjourn.
Yeah, just adjourn.
Good job on the 10.
No, all right, so.
They look